Yo, yo, yo. What is up? Good morning, everybody. Good day, good morning. How are you? It's good to see you. Another beautiful day to dive into some video game news and day 4 of Planescape Torment. Man, we are officially a mage, everybody, a sorcerer. It's official. Yeah, it's official. We got the thing going on. Dude, my shirt looks wild. It's just doing its thing. Yeah, there we go. Um, Good morning. It's good to see everybody. Let's go ahead and do what we do to begin each stream and hop into video gaming news. Cool. Let's go. Let's get it. Cool. Um, get that Java first. Love that Java. PlayStation's big summer sale is on, and it's actually not that bad. Let's take a look. Open your Overwatch loot boxes, or Blizzard will do it for you. This is actually kind of interesting. Look, this isn't necessarily video game news, so I'm not going to dive into this. But I've actually read where I've seen it all the way across the board. You know, video games absolutely are something that can bring people together. They've absolutely been something that can divide people as well, though. Specifically talking about romantic, personal relationships and stuff. Um, I've seen it both ways, and I don't know. It's pretty well. It's not necessarily news, but I've definitely seen it go both ways, both sides of the line there. PlayStation Plus's UK games list. Every classic game for Europe. Europe. Let's take a look at that. Enhanced edition of one of the greatest licensed games ever comes to Steam tomorrow. Let's take a look. Amazon Prime members can now claim their 25 free indie games. Here we go. Blockchain gaming unfazed by crypto volatility as gamers. Let's take a look at it. I've heard other things than that, actually. Yeah? Miners are dumping GPUs via live streamed auctions. Let's look at this. And I'm going to preface this with be very careful. I understand that people are looking for a deal on most things they can purchase. A lot of people are on a budget, right? But take into consideration that when you're buying a GPU from a miner, this is a card that has potentially thousands upon thousands of hours of non-stop running um, and use. So the potential lifespan that a card you're going to buy off a miner that it has left is going to be limited, right? Potentially. The Intel Arc A380 is slower than the GTX 1650 and RX 6400 in gaming. Take a look at that. Lots of news this morning. We've already read about this. Point B, Netflix's mobile game. Already got this up. I'm about to sneeze. Excuse me. Excuse me. All right, I think we're good. Just had to get that one out of there, I think. Um, Dell's cheapest gaming laptop deals are back on the shelves. I'm not going to dive into this really, but we'll take a quick glance if we have time, okay? That way, if anybody's in the market for a laptop, they'll know that there's some deals potentially at Dell to look into to bump up against whatever else you can find. Got that up. Keep moving. Read about that yesterday. Blanco's Block Party NFT game to launch on Epic Games. Let's see what that's about. Epic Games is actually bringing in what appears to be a whole slew of blockchain NFT based games. More great news for gamers as EVGA disables its GPU. Let's see what that's about. Some some juicy tech news there potentially. All right, pivot into our other search. We read about that. Read about that already. Look at the previous news segments on YouTube if you're interested. This as well. It's pretty cool. Microsoft has confirmed a shortage of Xbox controllers. Huh. Not convinced that our buddy Gamer Extreme didn't write this. Thank you, PS Plus, for making my backlog even bigger. Yep. Pretty sure our buddy Gamer Extreme wrote that. We've already got the PlayStation mid-year deals, the PlayStation sell-up, so we'll see about that. We read about this. Pretty cool. Supposedly much bigger than the uh, explorable city of Gotham, which previously the biggest was in Arkham Knights, Batman Arkham Knights. We read about that yesterday. We've talked so much about the whole, so many people and agencies, news outlets, things like that. Uh, Governmental agencies even are trying to um, use video games as a scapegoat for violence and it's just not the case. I mean, nice try, but we're, you know, us as gamers are, for the most part, too informed to buy into that nowadays. But a lot of other people aren't, unfortunately, which is why we have to continue to try to inform people to the best of our ability. I mean, there's been a ton of research that has disproved that notion. So we just got to keep pushing to make sure people understand that that is not the case. 5 video game franchises that need a break. Let's take a look at that. We read about that yesterday, and that. Read about that yesterday again. Yep. This is 2 week old news at this point, but we saw God of War Ragnarok planned for a November release. We'll keep track. It didn't have it. They have not released a specific date, just the month of November of this year. So we'll keep track. Hopefully, it'll still release on time. As good as the last God of War was, just bring us the same quality game. That's what we need. We read about that yesterday. That was really cool. Yeah, ES3 continues to do this though. Again, I was having a real hard time reading an article yesterday where the author kept referring to E3 as something that actually happened this year when it absolutely did not. Um, Hold on. Sorry, one moment. There we go. Now, we had a lot of showcases this summer, right? But E3 actually being a specific event that is put on by ESA has not happened for the most part for like the past 3 years. And to read that article yesterday that kept referencing all these showcases that happened this year as being part of E3 was terrible. And it just shows that either that author had a significant was either very very misinformed, uneducated, or just didn't care to elaborate on what the difference was to their readers, and that sucks. Which means they were spreading misinformation. Uh, Whether they looked at it that way or not, that's what it was. Now, ESA has continued to do this ever since like 3 years ago when they first, when they first decided not to hold E3. They've gone, we'll be back next year. We'll be back next year. And it continues to not happen. So for them to say, we'll be back in 2023, I, I'll believe it when I see it. We've read all of these. Yeah, Jeff Keighley isn't worried about E3 making a comeback. I've expressed this already as well. I don't think I don't think like Summer Games Fest. I don't think um, most game devs, uh, most hardware developers, things of that nature. I don't think a lot of them are really all that worried about E3 making a comeback. They have found other venues and other ways to go about showcasing their products every summer. They have found that they don't necessarily need E3. E3 became a big thing because it was the go to back in the late 90s, is when it started, I think. And it was the go-to for game developers, hardware developers, uh, tech across the board, really, to come there and showcase what they were working on, what they were bringing out, and it was a big place for people to come and check that stuff out. Whereas nowadays, it's much easier to just kind of showcase everything in a digital space, virtually or what have you, and you don't necessarily need to have a physical location to do this. So with E3 basically pulling themselves out and then everybody else finding a way to get this done on their own, I think it's shown everybody that they don't necessarily need E3 anymore. And even if E3 makes a comeback, I don't think it's going to be as big of a deal as it once was. I think there will be a lot of people that have an amount of nostalgia about E3 that still want it to be a thing and still want to keep going back and being a part of it because of that. But what it represented in the past and what it was actually utilized as in the past, I don't think it fulfills that role anymore necessarily. New Xbox Game Pass games are great for Super Nintendo fans. Okay. Read about these? Yep. And all this. Atari celebrates 50th anniversary with new logo. What? No new logo. Read about it. That should be the last one there. One second, guys. Okay. Doop, doop, doop. You want to say we'll dive into these articles? I need to check something real quick. I apologize. Okay. I think we're good. I think we're good. Okay, solid. Solid. Let's hop into these. PlayStation's big summer sale is on, and it's actually not bad. At this point, it almost seems silly to pay full price for PlayStation games. Fresh on the heels of one big sale for PS4 and PS5, Sony has kicked off another. It's not as good as last month's, but it's not bad, especially for those who've been holding off on some of the bigger games of last gen, like Assassin's Creed Valhalla or Sekiro Shadows Die Twice. Announced yesterday in a blog post, PlayStation's annual summer sale runs through Wednesday, July 6th, whereas the previous sale focused on first-party games, specifically some of the biggest PS5 games. This month's highlights cross-gen games from third-party publishers. Here's a selection. Assassin's Creed Valhalla is down 60% to $24. Riders Republic, Witcher 3 Wild Hunt, and all the DLC at $10. That's a common price. This goes on sale all the time for this amount. Sekiro Shadows Die Twice for $30. Mass Effect Legendary Edition. This is $24. If you have Amazon Prime and you're considering buying this, hold off till next month. Amazon Prime Gaming is giving away the Mass Effect Legendary Edition for free next month. We're talking like 20 days away, I think, right around there. So right around 3 weeks away. You were getting the Mass Effect Legendary Edition for free with like around 50 other games. So just hold off unless you absolutely need it on PlayStation. hold off because you'll be able to get this on PC through Amazon Prime Gaming if you have a Prime subscription, okay? Hitman 3's Deluxe Edition for $32. Scarlet Nexus at $30. I think these are US, yeah. Shadow of the Tomb Raider for $13. Middle Earth Shadow of War, $7. Life is Strange 2 for $12. And Anthem. Anthem! Woo! Let's go! Get Anthem for $6. Why are they not just giving that game away? Are you kidding me? They actually want people to pay for this game still? Holy crap. Alright, there you go. I'll throw this in chat in case anybody's interested. Alright. Open your Overwatch loot boxes or Blizzard will do it for you. Don't worry about spending credits though. Yo, I didn't know that they put me in Overwatch. Literally me. The likeness is uncanny. Overwatch 2 will automatically crack open all your stashed loot boxes, so get to spamming that spacebar if you want the satisfaction of doing it yourself. The Sorta sequel is less than 4 months away, and with it, some pretty big overhauls to the way players obtain cosmetic goodies. Loot boxes are being ditched in favor of 9-week battle passes, and new currencies are replacing the original game's credits. As I recently discovered, some people actually love saving up their loot boxes, yeah. An impossible task for my own poor impulse control, but commercial lead John Spector assured hoarders that their goods won't be lost when Overwatch 2 launches. We are not transitioning loot boxes into Overwatch 2, and ahead of launch, any unopened loot boxes will be automatically opened with your account, receiving all the contents directly. What about all the credits you gained from filling needed roles and nabbing duplicate cosmetics? Surprisingly, they'll be carrying over too. But for anyone hoping to scoop up all of Overwatch 2's cosmetics with them, that won't be the case. Spectre said that Overwatch 1 credits come with you to Overwatch 2, but our new virtual currency will be the main currency, and there will be things in Overwatch 2 that will not be purchasable with those Overwatch 1 credits. Of course. So they stay as a separate currency. Yeah, I mean, this is Blizzard, right? So, well, let's be realistic here. I mean, God forbid they do anything to celebrate, or people that have been playing the game. Their title, their show any kind of love to their consumers that have been playing the game for a while or anything. You know what I mean? That's just ridiculous. Anyways, there will be things in Overwatch 2 that will not be purchasable with those Overwatch 1 credits. It's unclear whether that means some Overwatch 2 bits will be purchasable with Overwatch 1 credits. Most likely scenario is that those credits will be reversed exclusively for anything purchasable from the original game, with any new additions needing the new currency. It's still nice to see credits coming over, especially for people who are sitting on a small mountain of them. Community manager Jody Grace also revealed we'll finally be able to see and play with the new hero models in the second beta, something I was gutted about not seeing in the first. There are a few more interesting tidbits in the AMA, such as the fact that the team is toying around with the idea of adding some sort of guild or clan function in the future. We'll be able to see more of Overwatch 2 when the second beta arrives on June 28th, including new hero Junker Queen. At first I thought I was going to say Joker Queen, which would have been way cooler. Alright, there you go. If you don't want Blizzard to open your loot boxes for you, get in it. Start doing it. PS Plus UK games list. Here's every classic game added in Europe. The full list of PS1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and PSP games at launch. Not reading all these. It's not happening. So it's a lot. It's a lot. But I brought it up that way I could throw it in chat for you guys. All right, there you go. Um, take a look if you're interested. Over there in the UK, our friendos across the pond, as it were. Take a look, see what you could be getting access to there. Okay, with PlayStation Plus subscription. Enhanced edition of one of the greatest licensed games ever releases tomorrow. Westwood's Blade Runner was the studio's masterpiece. We talked about some Blade Runner here recently, yeah. There's thoughts that was it like rumors or just once that there could be like, yo gamer, what's up, buddy? Hey dude, what was it? What did I come across? I came across an article that I'm pretty sure you wrote. What's up, dude? I came across an article and it was like, um, with my new PS Plus subscription, my backlog of games has only gotten what was it like increasingly, difficult to address or something like that, and I was like, I'm pretty sure our buddy Gamer wrote this article. What's up, dude? I don't know if I brought it up. Blade Runner Enhanced Edition releases tomorrow on Steam, and not a moment too soon. This remastering has been handled by Night Dive Studios, an outfit you could fairly describe as restoration specialists, while the original game was arguably the crown jewel of the late great Westwood Studios, best known for the Command and Conquer series, a real-time adventure game that is amusingly enough set in 2019 Los Angeles. Blade Runner tells its own story within the universe of the cult classic 1982 movie. At the time it was billed as having one of the richest environments ever created, it still looks the absolute business. Stay the about my business, my business. For those unfamiliar with Blade Runner, the title is what people who hunt down replicants, perfectly human androids, are called. The great innovation and still one of the best ideas ever for a licensed game is that each story run through changes which of the characters are replicants. The system features over 70 characters, all motion captured, all with their own agendas, and includes actors from the 82 film, including Sean Young, James Hong, Joe Turkel, Brian James, and William Sanderson. No, no, no. I just know that because you're always talking about like how you just have too many to get to and stuff like that. You know what I mean? So like it was really funny because, you just got PS Plus as well, and I was like, I'm pretty sure that Gamer wrote this article. It was just really like kind of coincidental and everything, because you're always talking about how you always have too many games to get to and everything too. In other words, this is a detective adventure where the mystery changes each time. I didn't say play. Each time through. The reason it's held in such high esteem is how all in Westwood went on capturing the movie feel through the mechanics, as well as the brilliance of Replicant's idea. The game features real-time weather that has different effects on your character, endless movie gadgets like the Esper photo analysis machine, the Voight-Kampf replicant detection test, and police spinners. The original is available on GOG, but this enhanced edition seems to have been handled with great care and subtlety. It's all about preserving the original's look and feel as much as possible. The press release calls it a faithful restoration. Nice. The official word on what the enhanced edition does to the original goes as follows. Reconstruction and uppressing of the original Westwood VQA videos. Cinematic video frame rates up from 15 to 60 frames. Nice. Modern HD display, enhanced knowledge integration assistant, and clue user interface, enhanced subtitle support, good, modern gamepad support, awesome, SMAA anti-aliasing, cool, anisotropic texture filtering, good. Night Dive has also been working on this one for a while. It was initially intended for release in 2020, but various complications, including no one being able to find the original source code, saw delays. Studio is also currently working on the System Shock remake, yes. Westwood's Blade Runner brilliantly captures the mood of Ridley Scott's movie, and this is a welcome return. It's ambitious, maybe overambitious, unforgettable, and has an atmosphere like no other. There's been a lot of, I think, call in the gaming industry for another Blade Runner game to be made like the movie was made. The newer movie was entertaining. It was good. I don't think it was, what the old movie was, but it was good. Well, that's cool, man. So, enhanced edition of Blade Runner coming to Steam. Cool. And you can get the original on GOG. Okay, so here we go. Amazon Prime members can now claim 25 free indie games. They're being offered to subscribers ahead of July's Prime Day shopping event, which we've read a lot about already. Again, this, we're getting like another 30 games roughly. Whenever Amazon Prime, their Prime Day kicks off next month, um, that's whenever everybody's going to be getting access to their free Mass Effect Legendary Edition and a bunch of other nice titles. But right now, they're going to go ahead and going ahead and giving everybody 25 free indie games, which we'll read about right now. Okay. Someone on Facebook said it perfectly in the PlayStation Trophy Hunting group. Never be able to finish every game. Oh yeah, no way. Well, yeah, I mean that's what I try to get across to people, right? It's and that's one of the sentiments that I try to get. I was trying to express this to an extent with the community, like here recently when we were finishing Valheim as well. Um, they're quite often people, and I understand it. They get locked into certain games and they continue to play certain games, and that's their jam, and I understand it. Um, for me, I like to get a sense of completion. I don't need to chase every trophy, and um, I've got certain goals in mind for a game where I know that I need to get a lot of specific things done for myself to feel like I've gotten most of the game complete in my mind, right? And then for me, it's time to move on to something else because I have just a massive amount of games that I'm always wanting to play and get to an experience and I know quite often people, like they were joking around with me in the server and everything. It was like, "What do you mean you're moving on? This is the only game that exists now that you've played it." And it was a really good game, and I can understand how people, just want to keep playing a game like that because it is very fun and but for me, I like to move on and play other games and stuff. I've always got more titles I want to experience and play, and that's one of the great things about gaming in my uh, as far as I'm concerned, that's one of the great things about gaming is that I can continue, like I can play a game. I have games that I love and that will always be have a place in my heart, and but there's also always new worlds to get immersed in and new things to explore and experience, and it's basically endless at this point. There's just so many titles being released all the time, that I just want to dive into. I'll never be able to experience all of them, which on one side of the coin is like amazing that there's enough of that content out there to know that I'll never run out of games to play. On the other side, it feels bad because it's like, man, I'll never get to play every game that I want to play. You know what I mean? So let's see what these indie games are. Yeah, Amazon is currently giving away 25 indie games to Prime members. The PC titles, which are listed below, are now free to claim until July 13th. Because on July 14th is whenever all the other like 30 games go free for their Prime Day stuff, okay? So they include the 25 in the run up to and coinciding with its annual shopping event. Amazon is giving away over 30 games now. They include the 25 indie games listed below and 6 more, which will be available from July 12th through 13th. Mass Effect Legendary Edition, Grid Legends, Need for Speed Heat, Star Wars Jedi Academy, Star Wars Jedi Knight 2, Jedi Outcast, and Star Wars Republic Commando. So you have to have Amazon Prime to get these, right? But here are the games you can get now. 10 Second Ninja, 8 Doors, Addling Adventures, Bang Bang Racing, Clouds and Sheep 2, Death Squared, Fatal Fury Special, Gianna Sisters, Twisted Dreams, Gone Viral, Q, Manual Samuel, Metal Slug 2, Metal Unit, Pumped BMX Pro, Puzzle of the Year, Rain World, Road Trip, Samurai Showdown 2, Serial Cleaner, The Crow's Eye, The Dark Detective, A Fumble in the Dark, King of Fighters 2000, King of Fighters 2002, Metronomicon, Slay the Dance Floor. Amazon recently acquired the streaming rights to a TV adaptation of Sony's God of War. We knew. Yep. So if you've got, here, I'm going to throw this in chat. If you've got Prime, go grab. Yeah, I mean, I think the group you're referring to there, I think they're absolutely right, as far as I'm concerned. But I mean, I understand people, especially chasing all the trophies and stuff in a game. You know, that you're very passionate about. Games that you love spending time in and wanting to really 100% those games. I get that. I understand that. For sure. Blockchain gaming unfazed by volatility as gamers seek out entertainment. Not. There we go. That'll work. There we go. There we go. There we go. That feels better. Um, so this is weird. I've read different things here about, so obviously the cryptocurrency market has dipped significantly, right? And I've read things where games based on a crypto economy are dying. And I've read, now we've got like an article where it's saying that they're unfazed, and I don't know how to take it. The Web3 gaming industry is one of the few sectors seemingly unaffected. What I'm wondering is like, obviously, we have to take a lot of what we read in the news with a grain of salt, right? Because to an extent, some of what we're going to read is going to be what these agencies want us to believe, right? They're trying to promote to an extent, more than likely, right? Lift up certain ideas. So sometimes it's hard to determine exactly what to believe, especially when you're getting conflicting ideas from different uh, sides of the ball, as it were, on something such as this, right? Where obviously cryptocurrency has taken a serious dive, and we're reading articles coming out saying crypto games based on games based on crypto economies are dying off, and then there's another one coming out saying that they're doing well, and it's like, well, which is it, right? The Web3 gaming industry is one of the few sectors seemingly unaffected by current crypto market conditions, with capital continuing to pull in space. Some industry players say it's for good reason. Current market environment is funny, says Rob Young, CEO of Animoca Brands. People have a tendency to couple crypto markets with blockchain games and content, but actually it's only as appropriate as linking tech stocks on NASDAQ with the businesses of tech companies. There's a certain correlation, but it's tenuous. Uh, Dude, we're not gonna be able to read all this anyways, but I'll get into it just a bit here. While the crypto industry was in free fall over the past few months, Web3 games remained fairly stable. In May, over 1.15 million daily unique active wallets interacted with blockchain games, down just 5% from the previous month, according to DApp Radar and BGA Games Report. Number of active users has nothing to do with the market, Young said. You can argue it's counter cyclical because, as we see in entertainment products, there tends to be more consumption when the economy is not so good because people will seek out entertainment. Uh, while the future of the industry was in question amid the bear market of 2018, there's been tremendous validation and progress since then. The rest of the year will definitely be challenging, but I'm optimistic for the first quarter of next year. See, what's wild is that what we had read was up until here recently, blockchain games, Web3 games had kind of sustained while the rest of the market had dropped, right? But here recently, we're finally starting to see where the games themselves are starting to suffer the same way. And now this comes out, which was written what, yesterday? Yeah, kind of contradicting what we had just read like a couple of days ago. So, uh, again, take some of this with a grain of salt. We would have to take a deep dive into how a lot of these games are actually doing. What we did get is we got some stats in the other article we read, and if those are true stats, it definitely looked like some of the top crypto, some of the top games, blockchain type games based on crypto economies were definitely suffering at this point to a great extent. So I don't know how much stock I would put in this saying that they're not. One second, guys. Sorry. I'm blowing up, man. Okay. The Intel Arc A380 slower than the GTX 1650 and RX 6400 in gaming tests. Uh, does better in 3D Mark benchmarks, but that's little consolation, excuse me. Um, Bruh, get melted. Last week, Intel launched their Arc A380 with products initially available in China only. Today, several Chinese sites and social media users published their independent third-party reviews. We've taken a closer look at a video review published by Bilibili user Shinmid. I'm gonna butcher. I can't. This is their name. To see if there's any insight to share. Dude, I'm not even gonna. I can barely read English, let alone whatever this name is. To share before we can get our own A380 in the Tom's Hardware Labs. In brief, Intel's first Arc Alchemist desktop GPU likely won't displace the best graphics cards. And it did much better in synthetic benchmarks than the suite of games tested. The Bilibili user's test platform was relatively modest, which is a fair choice given the target market for the Arc 380. Windows 11, PC, Intel i5 12400, 16 gigs of RAM, 1 terabyte solid state drive, an Asus 660M motherboard. Intel's new hope was pitted against the following contenders in the same system: GTX 1650, RX 6400, and 6500 XT, and an RTX 3050. In synthetic tests, the Intel Arc A380 was fairly impressive, beating out all rivals except the RTX 3050 in Time Spy and Port Royal, but falling back a bit to best just the GTX 1650 and Firestrike. Unfortunately, this marked the end of the good news for those hoping for an impressive Intel Arc debut. Looks like at a high def, which is 1080p, right? I'm not sure what they're playing here, but I'm guessing this is frames per second. The Arc was at 59, the 1650 at a 60, almost a 67 frame, the RX 6400 at almost 70, the 6500 XT at 88 frames, and then the 3050 at 106 frames. So yeah, the Arc falling behind a bit there. And the 6 games tested at 1080p: League of Legends, GTA 5, PUBG, Shadow of the Tomb Raider, Forza Horizon 5, and Red Dead Redemption 2. Intel's Arc A380 was constantly the poorest performer. Above, we have shared a video screenshot of the detailed Red Dead Redemption 2 performance comparison. This is a fairly typical bar chart across all the games. Yeah, so this is RDR2. Is that what it's? Yeah, RDR2 performance. Mm-hmm. I mean, here's the thing to take into consideration, though, right? When you're talking about something like this, um, obviously Intel hasn't really been into the dedicated graphics card space ever that I can remember. It's that all they've ever done is had like some integrated graphics on their CPUs. That's about it. Um, and I mean, if you look at the history of things, AMD has always tried to compete with Intel on the CPU side of things and NVIDIA on the GPU side of things. So while NVIDIA's always been the graphics card leader, AMD has been like chasing them in graphics cards, right? And it took AMD a very long time to get to where they are now, which they're still not up to Nvidia's level, I would say, but they're much closer than they used to be. And same thing on the CPU side of things. Intel had always kind of been the leader of CPUs, whereas AMD was more better price for performance, the the budget chip, as it were. Good chips, but if you really wanted top of the line stuff, you were going to pay for it. You're going to go get Intel. You're going to pay for it. You'd get better performance, but you were gonna really dip into that wallet to get that performance right. Um, Now AMD has over time really worked out how to make some good CPUs. I would say they're doing a better job at this point than Intel is, especially on price for performance. And you know, taking into consideration that Intel is jumping into this GPU market, dedicated graphics cards, right? Um, this does not look bad, right, for their entry into this hardware space. And I would say pretty good numbers actually for their entry here. And I would only assume that they're going to build upon this and continue to build better and better products. So I'm not surprised to see them a little bit behind what the some of these other cards are, and I would expect they'll continue to improve as they perfect their kind of technology that they're coming up with. Yeah, and competition's good, man. So nothing wrong with having another tech company creating GPUs. That's for sure. Now, it is Intel, so expect to pay for it, I would say. But again, the fact they're coming into the GPU market with a price point for performance already set means they probably will be not crazy expensive or anything like that because they're going to have to be pricing their hardware at a point that makes sense, especially when they're not meeting the same kind of performance that the other cards are. Pricing of the Intel Arc A380 in China suggests U.S. retailers will advertise these models at around 135 US, as we explained last week. At the moment, that would help Intel undercut its rivals in the above table for its lower gaming performance, which seems appropriate. However, with the Intel GPUs having better performance in 3D Mark benchmarks and decent looking stats, it's natural to wonder whether Intel's drivers could improve to provide significant uplifts in actual gaming. We're looking forward to getting an Intel Arc A380 desktop graphics card for our own extensive tests. However, according to these early results, it doesn't look like Intel will rank too highly in our GPU benchmarks hierarchy unless drivers improve a lot in the coming months. We'll keep track. It's appropriate. We'll keep track. Real quick, looks like Dell's cheapest gaming laptop deals are back on the shelves. I'm not going to read into this, but I pulled it up so I could throw it in chat. If anybody's interested, looking for, I'm not like a big fan of Dell or anything specifically, but if you're in the market for a PC, apparently Dell's having some deals. But again, do your homework, educate yourself, use some comparison. There's a comparison site right there for any other models you might be interested in. Look at some professional reviews, side by side comparison stuff on Artings right there, and just see what you come up with. All I can say. Blanco's Block Party NFT game to launch on Epic Game Store. The game's publisher, Mythical Games, also just released 2 other play to earn titles and is working with the NFL on its own NFT game. In brief, NFT powered PC and Mac game Blanco's Block Party will be released via the Epic Game Store. The game has already amassed more than 1 million users ahead of the Epic launch, according to publisher Mythical Games. Blanco's Block Party, an NFT driven creation game that claims to have already racked up more than 1 million total players, may soon be in front of a lot more players when it launches on the popular Epic Game Store. Publisher Mythical Games announced the news amid NFT NYC this week. Although a time frame for the launch has yet to be announced, Gala Games, another publisher, claimed earlier this month that its Wild West themed shooter Grit will be the first NFT game to be released on Epic's marketplace later this year. Yeah, we had read that. The Epic Game Store is a major platform for digital. Yep. Yeah, obviously, Epic's store has and Epic has been more open to making their platform available to blockchain NFT games than a platform like Steam has. John Linden, CEO of Mythical Games, told Decrypt that it has been working with Epic for months now on bringing NFT games to the marketplace. However, he added that this is the latest step following years of conversations with Epic about NFT gaming. They've kind of gone back and forth with some of the skepticism and all that, and rightfully so, said Linden. There's a lot of early games that were very much gamified economies, really more than a game. Here we go. Axie Infinity again. Ethereum based game Axie Infinity has been the biggest success story in the NFT gaming space to date. Has it? I digress. Generating more than 4 billion worth of total NFT trading volume. However, the Pokemon inspired gameplay has been dinged as shallow, and its play to earn economy began collapsing late last year, sending token prices down the drain. Also, because the developer of the game left a huge vulnerability on the back end of the software, allowing the site to be hacked for $600 million worth of the crypto economy holding up the game. That's something everybody needs to be very, very aware of. Putting your money into these types of ventures, it will only remain as secure as the software developed to hold up this economy maintains it. And we've seen time and time again that these games will get hacked, and the crypto within them, whatever kind of cryptocurrency it's based on, will get hacked, and they can't always get it back. And the game will just collapse. And it's done, and it's dead. I like that they didn't even mention that. Linden said that Mythical Games, which was co-founded by former game industry executives from Activision, Oculus, and EA, is focused on delivering a safe NFT game. This is what all of them will say. I've said this before. This is what all of these NFT, blockchain, Web3 games are going to say to gamers to try and make you feel safe about investing in whatever product they're trying to sell you, whatever gaming experience they're trying to sell you and get you to invest in, right? It's safe. Don't worry. Don't worry about it. It's safe. You know, but we've seen it happen we've seen it happen too many times. Whether it be them getting hacked or the developers, which I would say a game coming to the Epic Game Store, what I'm about to talk about, has a very small chance of this happening. But we've seen other NFT blockchain games where the developers built up a big currency in the game and then just quit developing the game, pulled all the money out, and bounced. And then everybody that invested in it's like, what? They got skamazzed, man. You know, He added that the studio is more concerned with gameplay and fun experiences rather than token reward mechanics. Quote, it's definitely a game first type experience, he said of Blankos Block Party. We're excited to have it on the Epic Game Store. Blankos Block Party is a PC and Mac action game that lets players co-create and interact in vibrant 3D environments. The game uses NFT collectibles to represent user-owned items like unique avatars, which are inspired by the vinyl toy collectibles, and digital apparel. They can be resold via Blankos Marketplace or can be combined to form new NFTs. An NFT is a blockchain token that conveys ownership in an item such as digital video game goods, artwork, and collectibles. Blankos is built on the Mythical platform, which is a private permissioned blockchain based on EOSIO, or the same technology that powers the EOS blockchain. Mythical has created a bridge from its platform to Ethereum, the leading NFT. What is the game about, though? According to Linden, the Epic Game Store version of Blankos Block Party will be identical to the existing version, which is available through a launcher application that can be downloaded from the game's official website. Mythical has said that Blankos has already logged more than 1 million registered users accounts since its open beta launch in December of 2020. Blankos recently announced a new in-game collaboration with fashion brand Burberry following the initial partnership last year, and the game has also held NFT drops with musician Deadmau5 and the Marathon clothing. Although the launching time is still unclear, Linden said that Mythical is planning a series of game updates for when Blankos Block Party launches on the Epic Game Store. It added that Blankos will be exiting this early access phase we've been in for a while as it expands to Epic's marketplace. Mythical Games is also working with the NFL on NFL Rivals. We've read about this. An officially licensed play and own NFT game. Just this week, the publisher also announced a pair of additional play and earn titles: racing game Nitro Nation, World Tour, and digital trading card game Epic Spell Wars Magic Fight that will be released in 2023. The publisher raised $150 million in Series C funding last November at a $1.25 billion valuation, with backers such as Anderson Horowitz, NBA legend Michael Jordan, and the NFL's 32 equity investment arm. In January, the firm acquired cloud streaming startup Polystream with an eye towards future metaverse applications. I like that they don't even talk about actually what the game is about, other than what NFTs are incorporated within it as, and you can do with NFTs. Fantastic. Even though they're like, it's about gameplay first. All right? Gameplay first. Don't talk about the gameplay at all, though. Yeah, I'm buying that one. More great news for gamers as EVGA disables its GPU queue. Oh, word. Due to the unprecedented GPU shortage, queue orders became the new norm over the past year or so, like past 2 years, for those hoping to acquire a graphics card. With stock levels now stabilizing, certain manufacturers are starting to end their queue system, particularly the NVIDIA RTX 30 series boards. As reported by Tom's Hardware, EVGA's GPU queue program seems to be discontinued in the near future. Currently, the company will start by removing specific variants from the initiative, which will begin with its FTW3 models. An email notified Tom's Hardware that the GeForce RTX 3080 FTW3 Gaming Edition can be purchased without the requirement to wait in the queue system from June 23rd, today. Although it's a step in the right direction with that any graphics card model has been confirmed to be exiting the program, something that has been the cause of frustration for millions of gamers, the EVGA queue system will, quote, continue to be in place for high demand products, of course. As such, apart from the GeForce RTX 3080, it's unclear which other cards will be removed from the queue. Still, Tom's Hardware highlights how the more powerful flagship boards such as the GeForce RTX 3090 Ti and RTX 3090 could be the next models to leave the initiative due to abundant stock levels. This is due to their expensive price tags, meaning the demand is naturally less than other more affordable models, including the 3060, 3070, and the like. Elsewhere, Video Cards notes how individuals can purchase two graphics cards as well moving forward. Because of the GPU shortage, customers would normally be capped to a single GPU per order. Yeah, I'm not gonna read the rest of this. We've already read about how it looks like. I'll throw it in chat. Looks like the hardware industry across the board, especially graphics cards, are really starting to come back around to where supply is coming back to meet demand a little bit, which is really good. Microsoft has confirmed a shortage of Xbox controllers. Supply disruptions are affecting stock, the company has told VGC, as many major retailers remain sold out. At the time of writing, major retailers in multiple regions are completely sold out of Xbox wireless controllers. And the peripherals seem to be particularly scarce across Europe. In the UK, there are currently no controllers in any color in stock at retailers Game, Smiths, Argos, Currys, or even the official Microsoft store. Amazon UK is, excuse me, one of the few retailers with stock of the Carbon Black controller, which was newly added today. It was sold out yesterday. Third-party prices on Amazon for the Black controller start at $93.99. Is that euro? Is that euro? I think it's euro. Nearly double the official price. That is sick looking. I love that. The situation appears to be similar in many regions, with Resetera forum users discussing their difficulty in locating controllers in various countries, including Australia, France, the Netherlands, and Germany. The Xbox Design Lab appears to be taking orders from players wishing to design and buy their own custom controllers. The Design Lab site continues to claim, "We aim to have the controller in your hands within 28 days of placing your order." It's not clear if this remains the case or simply hasn't been updated. Xbox confirmed the controller shortage following an inquiry by VGC, attributing it to supply disruptions. "We know it may be hard finding Xbox," this is a quote, "We know it may be hard finding Xbox wireless controllers right now due to supply disruptions," a Microsoft spokesperson told us. "We're working as fast as possible with our manufacturing and retail partners to improve this. Please check with your local retailer for availability." Stock seems to be somewhat more readily available in the US for now, with availability in the Microsoft Store and Best Buy, through some sites such as Amazon US and GameStop are currently only selling pre-owned controllers, suggesting supplies aren't plentiful in the region. Shortages of console hardware are nothing new this generation. The global chip shortage has meant that both the Xbox Series X and PS5 have been in extremely short supply since they launched 19 months ago, with stocks selling out almost as quickly as it arrives. Peripheral shortages have been less common, however, and it remains to be seen how quickly Xbox wireless controller supplies can be replenished to a level where they are readily available in all stores again. For now, anyone in Europe looking for an official Xbox wireless controller will have to either hope they get lucky and find one in stock somewhere, or go with less straightforward methods such as buying a customized controller via the Xbox Design Lab. Huh. Wild, man. Well, that's I mean, shortages, man, just constantly. It's crazy. 5 video game franchises that need a break, and 5 dormant ones that need a return. Let's see what they have to say here. We're gonna skim this. I'm not gonna go like These games could use a hiatus. Mario. How do you guys feel about that? You think Mario needs a break? Well, what they're talking about is how many games use for it'll never happen. It'll never happen, right? Nintendo Mario is Nintendo, dude. Right? I mean, it is. As well as some other high profile characters and stuff. I mean, you talk about like Link, um, and there are other, Kirby, and there's some, but Mario for sure. Mario is Nintendo, and it'll never happen. But they're talking about how Mario is just used for everything, right? But I mean, rightfully so. Mario is Nintendo, so it'll never happen. They'll just keep milking it. It is what it is. Uh, yeah, they're talking about like how it's like Mario and the Rabbids, Mario Striker. It's like Forza. They're saying Forza needs a break. FIFA. Well, here's the thing with FIFA, right? FIFA is changing because EA is not making FIFA anymore. EA is going to continue to make because EA and FIFA have parted ways. Um, so EA is going to continue making their football games, right? Or soccer, whatever you want to refer to it as. Uh, but it's going to be called what? EA Sports FC. So they're still coming out with FIFA 23, I think it is, but that's the last one from EA. And then FIFA is going. They're trying to find other devs to continue making their FIFA games. So FIFA will be changing, but that's another title that's just not going to stop. It's like any other sports franchise, NHL or MLB or I mean what have you. They're just not going to stop, man. A new season happens every year, so a new game's going to pump out every year. Pokemon. I will say that, dude, it does kind of feel like instead of focusing on trying to make a real nice big Pokemon world that they could make like kind of live service to continue building off of and stuff like that. Um, and this is one of the reasons that Pokemon has turned me off is because they just keep pumping out Pokemon games. Like it seems like there's like 4 or 5 Pokemon games that come out like every single year at this point, and it's like I just don't want to. It turns me off. I just don't want to get involved with it anymore. It just seems like too much to me. So, but it's very lucrative, and I know why they do it because people buy all of them. And for me, I'd rather just see a universe be built up where it was like you buy expansions. You know what I mean? Um, or whatever, rather than it be a new game, a new game, a new game, a new game. Because I mean, I love Pokemon. I started with Pokemon Red on Game Boy, man. But it's gotten to the point where it's just like frustrating to see it for me, where it's just like a new one, 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 and it's just. Ugh. That's the way I've felt about it for a while now. Call of Duty, yeah. How can you even keep up? They're all named like the same thing too, which is really flipping weird. Dormant franchises should be rebooted. Wolfenstein, Titanfall. There were some wild rumors coming out here recently. People had seen Titanfall 3 in a like GameStop store as like a placeholder thing in like Germany or something. We read there are a lot of people that love the Titanfall games. Silent Hill is coming, dude. Bioshock's coming too. So why is that in here? I think Bully's actually being remade as well, isn't it? While the sequel was once planned, Bioshock 4 is being made, confirmed. New Silent Hill is coming out, confirmed. This is not a great list. Bully, while a sequel was once planned, it's still being canned. It has since been canceled. Still, a sequel to Bully is something much sought after by fans of Rockstar. Possibly dealing with another character, maybe in a different setting and environment, maybe attending university. Bully the college years would be a great idea for a video game. Yeah, it could be. Okay, there we go. New Xbox Game Pass games are great for SNES High Clutch. What's up, buddy? Nodders, dude. Nodders. I love it when they show up like right there by the camera. Or like right over my face, you know? It's perfect. What's up, High Clutch? How are you, buddy? Great for SNES, so great for Super Nintendo fans. Xbox Game Pass and Xbox Game Pass. Yo, I have to say, like, I just consistently, I get comicbook.com articles that are written with errors. And like I don't know what is up with this site. Like, do they not have an editor or something? Xbox Game Pass and Xbox Game Pass have a couple of new games. What? I am guessing this is supposed to say Xbox Game Pass and Xbox Game Pass Ultimate have a couple of new games. Dude, this is one of the worst sites for me. They come out with really good article topics, content, but their writing constantly has errors in it. It drives me crazy. I don't know. I don't know. Um, I'm guessing they're saying Xbox Game Pass and Xbox Game Pass Ultimate have a few new games, including one game that that's technically three games in one and potentially nostalgic for any that grew up playing RPGs on the SNES. As of yesterday, subscribers of both sick page. So yeah, I don't know, dude. As of yesterday, subscribers of both tiers of the subscription service on Xbox One, Xbox One S, Xbox One X, Series S, and Series X can now enjoy Shadowrun Trilogy. Yeah, we knew about that. Yeah, all the Shadowrun games, yeah. Yep. Yep. That's what it was. Now there's a collection that is on Game Pass and Game Pass Ultimate. I don't understand. These articles aren't even that long. How are they always running into errors like this? That's what I don't get. This will remain active as long as the game is in the library of the subscription service and you're a subscriber. How long it will be available via the subscription service, though, we don't know. Microsoft does not disclose this information. Uh, yeah, we knew that those games were available and are highly rated games. So if you like CRPGs, uh, kind of strategy turn based kind of stuff, then story rich. Take a look. Take a look at these if you have Game Pass. But yo, comicbook.com's got to get their crap together. I constantly um, see this. It's wild from various sites, but constant. It's very consistent through comicbook.com that there's just errors in their stuff. It's really wild. Here we go. So this is the last article I have pulled up for the morning. If anybody has anything they want to share or bring up that I might not be aware of, we haven't hit on in the past, today's news segment or previous news segments that would be pertinent for us to discuss or go over regarding video game industry, let me know and we'll address it before we end the news segment today. Okay, yo, rando mode time. Go ahead, let's get in here. Rando mode, cool. You're looking for that future man emote. And let's hop in here and get this last one going. Nice high clutch. Um, so Atari celebrates 50th anniversary with new logo, reviving decades old series. Atari is among the oldest and most well known names in the gaming industry, and it's celebrating its 50th year on June 27th. It first established its headquarters in Sunnyvale, California, neighbored to a host of now famous tech startups. The new logo, a callback to the retro design of the old location, features the company's classic branding alongside a semi-transparent 50. Atari is calling the limited time celebration logo Borregas after the street where you could find the headquarters. According to the company, this design will join with the previously revealed Sunnyvale anniversary logo in gracing the many upcoming corporate announcements, game reveals, partnerships, and merchandising collaborations. Um, yeah, I mean, a lot of the world, man, has been dealing with some heat wave stuff for sure. Uh, I mean, right now for me, I mean, it's early still. It's only like 7:30 in the morning, you know, so it's only like 72 degrees Fahrenheit for me. But it's gonna get up there. It'll get up there. I think we're gonna be dealing with low 90s Fahrenheit. Um, I will say that again, where I was living before this, it was miserable hot all the time. So I'm okay. We got, as far as I'm concerned, this is pretty like mild. It at least it's like at this time right now where we used to live, it's burning hot, super humid. Um, just incredibly uncomfortable at this time already, and so I don't know. As far as I'm concerned, this is pretty mild. You know, it's like 70 degrees. So going outside in the morning, it feels pretty good. It's not stupid humid or anything. And yeah, I mean, it gets into like the low 90s or whatever. But at the same time, like usually what I do is, yeah, yeah, it's not bad. It's very mild. Again, it'll get up into the low 90s Fahrenheit. But um, for me, especially compared to what I've dealt with before, it's fine. Especially because we have like a community pool and everything, and it's really it's a pretty nice pool, and about every 2 to 3 days we just go hang out at the pool as a family, man, and like the pool feels really nice, and yeah, it's cool, man. So we just enjoy the weather, enjoy the water, and chill out. And I think living where we live now as well makes you enjoy the summer a little bit more. It does for me, anyways, because the winters are very cold and it's a lot of snow. And so for about, you know, especially like mid December through like um, mid March, it's pretty cold, pretty windy. Uh, or it can get windy. Lots of snow, you know. So by the time all that's over, whenever the heat kind of creeps back in, I'm ready to enjoy it, you know, for what the heat is here. So it doesn't bother me that much. But I know there's some places in the world right now. 72, 2 layers of clothes. No way, dude. No way. Yeah, yeah. I know there are a lot of places right now that have been dealing with some heat waves and stuff. So, um, design innovation was a fundamental driver and differentiator for Atari during the golden age of video games, said Wade Rosen, CEO of Atari. Every artist, designer, and engineer challenged themselves to reach creative excellence. It is a hallmark of Atari that persists to this day. Yeah. In the midst of the logo's reveal, it also looks like an Atari classic is getting a revival, according to Game Braves. A follow up to Yar's Revenge is in the works. The information comes straight from Howard Scott Warshaw, who worked at Atari in the 80s and created the title for the Atari 2600. The interview contained few concrete details on the project, just that it seemed the sequel has been greenlit. Hopefully, we will hear more about the game as development continues. That's cool. Right on. I've got a nice Atari logo shirt, man. I love it. I love it. Cool. Cool. Well, I guess that's it for the news segment today. We'll be moving on to our gameplay. Excuse me. Yeah, so um, we'll be headed towards our day 4 of Planescape Tournament, which is a lot of fun. We worked our way into finally becoming a sorcerer yesterday, which is awesome. We got to try out some of our spells today and keep moving forward, keep progressing, yeah, see where we can get to. But if let me say thank you to everybody that was here today for the news segment that was part of the news segment today, and to everybody that's part of this community, thank you very much. If you are not viewing this live, if you're viewing this as a VOD on YouTube and you're enjoying the content, then do me a favor and consider hitting the like and subscribe button and potentially leave me a comment so we can have some discussion regarding some of these topics we went over in the news segment today, okay? Other than that, just stay healthy, stay safe, be kind to one another, and we'll catch everybody tomorrow for our June 24th edition of Video Gaming News. Cool.